Wednesday, April 27th edition of the Carolina Weather Video. Meteorologist Matthew East here along with you. We have some more unsettled weather, at least some scattered thunderstorm chances beginning to creep into the area. Let's get right into it here. We'll begin with a look at the Avalon Pier web camera on the left, Beach Mountain Parkway camera on the right, courtesy of ResortCams.com. Notice daybreak just beginning there all over the Atlantic Ocean. From that Avalon Pier web camera perspective, temperature there along the Outer Banks, 66 at Kill Devil Hills and 59 high atop Beach Mountain. Yesterday, the time-lapse imagery from the Dowd YMCA camera reveals some puffy fair weather cumulus clouds out there as the day rolled along. It was a very, very warm weather day for sure, with highs well into the 80s. I'll show you yesterday's highs coming up here in just a couple of moments. Let's take a peek at the numbers during the 5 o'clock hour this morning. It is a mild start to the day, 60s out there in many spots, even Boone sitting at 63 early this morning. And on the radar imagery, a little bit of a different weather scenario this morning compared to what we've seen of late. Up into the Virginias, you have some areas of rain and embedded thunderstorm activity kind of rumbling around early this morning. It's what was left of a big complex of storms off to the north of us later yesterday and into last night. I'll show you that in more detail in just a second. There's been a couple showers during the pre-dawn hours try to pop up into the western side of the Charlotte metro. They've had kind of an inability to sustain themselves to this point. It just goes to show you that we're seeing a little bit of a different type of weather scenario begin to unfold for us. Over the past 6 hours, that big complex of rain and storms weakened overnight as expected, but if you look very carefully, right about here near the North Carolina and Virginia border, the leftover boundary from that activity has continued to drop southward, and that should be enough, especially down to around the I-40 corridor, to kick off some scattered showers and thunderstorms this afternoon. Off to the west, big arcing band of rain through Nebraska and Iowa, southward through Missouri and Arkansas, and then arcing south from there. Some more and more thunderstorm activity involved, ongoing severe storms in parts of eastern Texas this morning, some really nasty thunderstorms back in that part of the country, kind of approaching Houston from the northwest. So yet another rough go of it weather-wise coming up in Houston. It's been kind of a rough stretch of weather back that way. Highs yesterday, very warm across the region. In the Triad viewing area, mid-80s. Very similar weather scenario around the Charlotte viewing area yesterday, and really the eastern half of the country as a whole. Very warm. Carolinas, lots of 80s yesterday, and there you go. A lot of 80s over the eastern United States, again, as a whole yesterday. So things are changing. There's a little boundary creeping in now from the north. And I think as that boundary has made its approach, it'll be enough, especially in roughly the northern half of North Carolina, to kick off some scattered showers and thunderstorms. There's the high-resolution modeling, and especially roughly I-40 and north. Pretty decent chances of some scattered showers and thunderstorms. And that's also where there's a marginal threat of severe storms today. I noticed the color table kind of off with the weird internet connection this morning, but marginal threat of severe storms in the northern half of North Carolina. Not a huge threat, but we'll watch it. And there's a big standard slight risk back in the Mississippi Valley region. There'll be some more organized activity back that way. Highs today, very, very warm. Across the region. Now, as we get on into tomorrow, then we see this boundary approaching from the west. That'll be enough to kick off, again, a scattering of showers and thunderstorms. Again, this is a marginal risk, rather, of severe storms over much of the region. Not a huge severe weather threat, but something we'll watch. Still very warm Thursday across the region, too. I think we're in good shape weather-wise in Friday. Maybe a few lingering showers or storms in northeastern North Carolina, but most of the region going to be just fine. And still quite warm for Friday as well. In fact, look at Columbia, 95, 93 in Charleston Friday afternoon. And I still think the weekend kind of half and half. I'll stick with the dry forecast for Saturday, but then the rain chance is certainly increasing then as we get deeper into Sunday. So let me show you how it looks. Oh, let me get the right thing up here. Let me show you how this looks on the high resolution. Higher detailed modeling here. This is the European 500 millibar chart. There's your disturbance over the plain states that's working northeastward toward the Great Lakes region by tomorrow evening. And then into the weekend, and I really think a kind of a convoluted setup, Sunday into early next work week, little pieces of energy trying to shoot our way. Very difficult to time out this far in advance. before eventually a big trough tries to take over the eastern U.S. later on next week. So let me step you through the GFS model. There's your scattering of thunderstorms this afternoon. And again tomorrow, the idea of scattered showers and thunderstorms very much on the table. Looking at instability values, there's your CAPE, your convective available potential energy this afternoon. Notice the values then tomorrow afternoon a little higher, so a little better chance of some thunderstorms with some pop tomorrow. We get out then to Friday. Again, outside of northeastern North Carolina, looks like a dry day. And still an interesting temperature day. Look at the 90s on the board here through Alabama, Georgia, parts of South Carolina, but only 70s in northern North Carolina up toward the Virginia border areas. Saturday, rain tries to make it as far eastward as the mountains, but for the Piedmont, I'll maintain a dry Saturday forecast. But then we get into Sunday. There's your rain spreading in from the west. This is the rain Sunday afternoon into early evening. Off of the GFS model, rain chances then continue Sunday night into Monday morning. On the European model here, the rain arrives even earlier. It arrives by Saturday late in the night into Sunday morning. Canadians a little slower, holding it off until Sunday afternoon. The bottom line here is I think the deeper we get into Sunday, the more the rain chances will be with us. Further out in time, Monday afternoon, GFS has a bit of a wedging scenario. I haven't really bought on that just yet, but I will mention still the chance of a few showers or storms Monday. This is Wednesday of next week, and really the deal Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of next week is going to be timing out those disturbances as they approach from the west. That's very difficult to do in the type of setup that's trying to unfold for us early next week. All right, that is it for today's edition of the Carolina Weather Video. Thank you for watching. Have a wonderful day, and God bless.